Hello guys, welcome back to BoreDraw, and today we are continuing our preview of all the teams coming up to the 23-24 Premier League season, and it's been exciting so far, but it's about to get to a whole new level. We're talking about the reigning champions, the reigning treble holders.
The 3 in a row Premier League winners. Have they fucked football as we know it? Who bloody knows?
Are Saudi coming to save football?
Who knows? It's all a
Maybe
mess.
Saudi are the ones who are going to take Pep away.
Oh, you know what? That's actually a discussion point. What does Pep do after City?
Just retires in Saudi. Nice tan on his head.
Managing Cristiano Ronaldo or something. Crazy.
Oh, who knows? We are talking about none other than Manchester City today. And stick around because it's going to get tasty. Let's talk about how they got on last season, as if we need to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, do we even need to discuss how they did last season? Won the treble, won pretty much absolutely everything you need to win in a season, cemented themselves as the best team in the world, possibly one of the best teams to ever have done it.
Yeah, they had a very exciting window last time around. They sort of went under a little bit of a transition, losing the likes of Zinchenko and Jesus. But
Sterling.
Did they lose Aguero that window as well? Or was that the window before?
That, yeah.
But yeah, but they signed one man called Erling Haaland, who went on to basically smash every Premier League
We cannot
record.
replace him. Yeah, you can. Pretty easily,
Yeah,
actually.
very easily. And they signed Julian Alvarez as well.
Quality player.
Akanji.
Yeah. Who went under the radar, but was actually one of their best signings, probably.
Yeah. And for me, if you win the treble, I think you've said this already, if you win the treble, you should not be allowed to participate in the next transfer window.
That should actually be a rule that we have now implemented. You know when people say, oh, if you could make one rule in football, and everyone kind of stutters and they say like, or something to do with offside or whatever. This is actually the rule. If you win the treble, you shouldn't be allowed to make any transfers.
Or like you're limited to
because the team is already tapped. Why on earth can you be allowed to add more?
You have to actually sell your prized asset.
Yeah. But not like a draft way.
Yeah, you have to give that player to like the lowest ranked Premier League team. So like Luton would just get Haaland.
That'd be so crazy.
But yeah, last season was the stuff of dreams made in Man City. They won the Champions League, which is long avoided them.
Yeah.
And Pep managed to bring European glory to the Etihad, which was sort of what he was brought in to do.
It was
in the
indeed.
Stages.
And I think everybody, even if you're not a Man City fan, is chuffed because not only does that mean he probably leaves the league sooner, but
I don't want him to leave the league though.
I think I do.
Yeah, but I haven't got as much in it as you do.
Yeah, I think how can you look at the Premier League and see the last 6 or 7 seasons, Man City have won it 5 times? We're talking like Bundesliga shit here.
Yeah, no, it is
Liga and shit.
It's getting a bit
Serie A,
embarrassing.
it's like 4 different winners in the last 4 years.
Yeah, but you don't think the standard of the Premier League has become higher just for having him in it?
I think I'd rather a little bit less in terms of standard and more in terms of storyline and jeopardy and 4 different winners.
Yeah, but I do agree. He winning the Champions League maybe does reduce his tenure at Man City a bit because he's sort of done it all now. But yeah, they went on. They won the Champions League. They won the Premier League.
I am being a bit of a party pooper.
Yeah,
they did it in excellent fashion because they started the season and they're a little bit wobbly. You know,
they had Haaland was scoring hat tricks and it was going quite well. And then there was a little bit of a bit where Haaland,
people, including us, were like, "Is Haaland making this City team worse?"
Yeah. And all it took was Pep to invent this tactic of inverting his right back to CDM, which everyone seems to want to do now. John Stones had an absolute blinder of a season.
Turned from like just a right back player to the best centre back in the world, then to the best CDM in the world.
Yeah.
And it's like, how did that happen in the space of half a season?
Fantastic. He got the best out of players like Akanji and Nathan Ake, who were written off.
Yeah.
We've seen players like Cole Palmer come into the fray who look exciting. Just won the under-21 Euros.
Yeah.
Just
Julian Alvarez, who we said is too good to play backup.
Probably
to
a
Haaland,
top 5 Premier striker.
But the fact that you've got him and you've tied him down to a new contract, he's going to kick on. And I think, I really like the City squad. And obviously, we'll talk about their transfer window next. But I think it's hard to kind of level up on a team that's won the treble.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
They've just got to take
All that's going to be is increasing.
the
their
good
level of
times
dominance.
as they come, because
But
they don't last
Arsenal
forever.
made City fans a little bit nervous for a good portion of the season. They took them quite the distance, but I think in what was the game? One of the games, I think the FA Cup game showed a bit of a golfing class, but you could say it's an FA Cup game. But was
The
it
one where we went to the Etihad and just got slapped?
Yeah.
4-1.
That was it when everyone was realizing you've done well, but
There's levels.
no one's going to compete with them. And it proved they won everything.
Yeah. When
yeah.
they're on job, they are by far and away the best team in the world, and it's not even close.
Yeah, it could be interesting. Let's dive into their 23-24 transfer window. Yeah, it's been a mixed transfer window for Man City. Not a lot of terms of incomings, but the outgoings have been fairly...
There's a lot getting talked about.
Let's talk about before even this window. João Cancelo.
Yes.
He left for Bayern Munich on loan. I don't know if they want to make it a permanent, but
no, they don't. He's back at Man City now. He did pre-season. They played a game. I can't remember, against a Japanese team. I think they're in Japan for their
they lost it
pre-season. Oh no, I thought they went. They were losing.
Oh no, Haaland. Yeah,
But that game Cancelo was playing. But I've seen Pep since come out and say that he doesn't want Cancelo in his squad for the new season. So
it's going to be weird because Cancelo obviously just a great player, but it seems to have gone wrong somewhere.
Him and Pep seem to have had like an absolutely catastrophic falling out.
He went to Bayern and he looked quite good at points, but then I don't think he even made it really under Tuchel. I don't think Tuchel really liked him.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting one because he's a very talented player.
Yeah,
one of the best
100%.
right backs in the world on his day, if not the best. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there because Kyle Walker is reportedly on his way out to where João Cancelo went out alone.
Yeah.
Maybe, so apparently Bayern Munich could have offered him a 2-year deal.
Yeah, I think with a transfer fee of like 15 mil.
Yeah, which is fine. But apparently a lot of the Bayern Munich team are up in arms about it because the Bayern Munich have a rule of only offering a 1-year contract to players over the age of 30.
Ah.
And they wouldn't even offer an extended one to Neuer.
Right.
Which is crazy. But yeah, so that's interesting because that leaves Man City with John Stones playing that right back centre CDM hybrid role. But
yeah, they got Rico Lewis, I guess, but maybe the step up is still a little bit too quick. Another outgoing that I think is getting slept on is Ilkay Gundogan to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yes, he's 32, but this guy can play anywhere on the pitch in terms of he can play 6 at a really high level. Probably one of the best 8s in the league. He can slot in at number 10 position behind Haaland if he needs to. Chips in with goals and assists. Such a big game player. You saw in the FA Cup final against Man United.
The early on volley.
2 goals in like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Guy's crazy. And so to lose him for 20 mil, in this day and age, yes, he's 32, like I said, but
20 mil's nothing.
20 mil's nothing for a player that is your captain, is a guy that's done so much for you. But then I guess it's a case of he's done so much, he's probably thinking, I need something new now.
Yeah, that's it. And he'll have the resume of having played for Dortmund, Man City, won a treble, and then playing for Barcelona.
Exactly
it's not a bad little resume for a top player.
And what I think is a replacement for him is Mateo Kovacic.
Love Kovacic.
I think he's so good.
Such a good player.
I think he doesn't offer exactly what Gundogan does in terms of final product, but what he does offer is more legs by far than Gundogan. They're both technically at very high level, probably near enough the same level. Maybe Gundogan slightly
definitely
better. But
better.
Technically they're both so good. Kovacic probably just offers more legs,
more defensive,
probably a bit more defensive, a bit more in terms of ball regaining.
Maybe ball carrying.
But yeah, I think Gundogan is probably just a bit better in kind of dictating a game.
Yeah, 1-2 link up, stuff like that. But yeah, it's going to be
a good signing.
I think Kovacic is a really good signing. You weaken an opponent as well in the Premier League. I think
for what, 30 mil or less than that, like 25 mil.
Yeah, 29.1 mil we got here,
which is good.
But yeah, and I think that's a really good signing. I like what they're doing here. They've obviously still got the likes of Calvin Phillips on the books, which is a strange one.
Yeah.
He could potentially maybe go to somewhere like Liverpool. We just spoke about Liverpool. Check out that video. Let us know down below. We actually didn't speak about Calvin Phillips in that video.
We didn't.
But that's an interesting one. But Pep likes to give people a year to sort of settle in, and then he starts introducing the team.
Calvin Phillips has come out and said that he knows he's had a bad season. and he wants to like get himself into that team.
He was
which I do
injured
like.
for like the whole season.
And so yeah, I do like you said. I do think Pep will probably give him time this season.
Yeah, I think he'll give him a chance. But the problem is, you've got Rodri, and then where does Calvin Phillips fit in that? Do you play him as like a sort of 8 alongside Kevin De Bruyne?
I think maybe he does what John Stones does, because I can see Calvin Phillips doing that kind of tuck into defence like John Stone does, and then push forward with the ball. So maybe he does that, but I don't know if he does it to as high a level as John Stones. But
Another big potential outgoing we'll talk about. Bernardo Silva.
Oh, yeah, well, I was going to say Riyad Mahrez, but both of them are two players that have been in this recent City team from the very beginning, pretty much.
Players who, I think Bernardo Silva is one of the core members of that Man City team. Maybe one of the most underrated players of all time. Just an absolute technician, magician, believe in that superstition. He's got it all, baby. He's fantastic.
Superstition ain't the way.
He's unreal. And so I know PSG are wanting him.
Barcelona want him.
And of course, Saudi want him.
And I know there's a lot of being made about the fact that he doesn't like the Manchester weather and that he is pretty eager to leave. But I think he's one of those players you need to keep because his versatility is crazy. His he chips in with goals and assists.
His output's
He's
insane.
still young.
Yeah, it just...
Or 27, I think.
Yeah, he's reaching his peak right now.
You can't lose him unless it's like 80 mil.
You don't really want to lose him, Gundogan, and Mahrez in the same window.
Oh, 100%, because that's like a whole new...
But the problem is Man City can do that and they're still going to win the Premier League next season.
Facts, yeah. 28 years old. He's in his prime. And if Saudi want him for like 80 to 100 million...
You take it.
You take it.
You buy it, you get in.
You don't let him go to Barca for fucking 20 mil because he wants to go and Barca can offer you a player in exchange. Fuck that. No, you need money or nothing because he's a quality player.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, unless they offer you like Pedri or something.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Riyad Mahrez I think is a big loss, but he's kind of like Ilkay Gundogan in the sense that he's done everything he can at Man City now.
Yeah, both players
been there for a long time.
Both players will go through spouts of not starting. But they were more than happy to. And then when they came in, they gave everything.
Yeah,
and they proved. And that's what Man City had. They had such an ethos of like, you're not going to play every minute of every game, but that works because if you're happy with it, you stay injury free. Pep's got this fantastic depth on the bench. And people make a lot about the money that Man City spent. But their bench wasn't even made up of like ridiculous priceless players. Like, how much did they get Mahrez for? How much did they sign Bernardo Silva for? How much did they sign Gundogan for? It's not crazy money. It's not like Chelsea's bench now.
Yeah, fact.
You know what I mean? So you have to give a little bit respected at their scouting.
I said this. I beefed some Man United fans on Twitter saying that they were like, oh, Man City are buying the league. And I said, nah, And they were like, oh, Man City have unlimited money, so it's so easy. And I was like, it's one thing to have unlimited money. A lot of Prem teams do have unlimited money, really. But Man City have that, and then they also spend their money the best, by far. Yeah. It's not even close.
They get value for their money.
Value for money.
And that's hard to get when you spend something.
They turn profits on players like Gabriel Jesus, Sterling. Not that they turned a profit on Sterling, but pretty much made their money back on Sterling. On, I don't know, just... Zinchenko, all those players that you just think come and go as like just standard transfers. 15 million for a Kanji. Why is no one else making that signing? No. Why are they the only one that saw a Kanji as a quality player and signed him for 15 million?
Well, Nathan Ake
Chelsea needed to send him back.
Reportedly failed at Chelsea, failed at Bournemouth, and now he's like a Man City stalwart.
It's like, why are Man City doing that? It's because they spend their money better than everybody else.
And they have the best coach in the world.
Bash.
So helps. he makes average players look really good, and they don't look like average players anymore. So you forget how they struggled previously. Indeed. Should we talk about how they're going to line up next season?
Let's do it.
Ederson obviously going to be starting for them again. He's a good keeper. I do like him.
Yeah.
Maybe the best distributor in the league.
Probably in the world.
Maybe in the world. Yeah. Akanji Diaz, Ake, making that back three.
Oh, one player we didn't talk about. Josko Guardiola.
Oh.
So, there was rumours from one place saying that Man City have agreed personal terms.
That one place being Fabrizio.
Yeah, and then fucking Sky Cave said, nah, the deal is actually not close at all.
You're capping.
So, someone's lying. But I think in the region of £100 million, Guardiola has been touted as a Man City defender.
I think they can do it.
I think they haven't spent their money. They've just won the treble, so that's incomings. And then they are allegedly the most like successful sports brand in the world at the moment. So that's even more money.
The problem is maybe they're a little bit worried about spending money with all these implications.
Charges, yeah. So, but yeah, Guardiola is someone that we didn't mention, but I assume he'd slot in that left centre back role like a peach, mate, because he is one of the best young centre backs in the world. We were talking about how Liverpool need like a replacement for Van Dijk. Guardiola would have been that guy because he's
cracked.
He's cracked, and he's going to slot in next to Ruben Diaz and Akanji like a glove, mate.
Yeah. If they don't make that signing, still back three with Ake, Diaz, Akanji.
Just won the treble. So
yeah, just won the treble. Doesn't really get much better than that. Stones sitting next to Rodri in that sort of hybrid right back role that we've talked about so much over the last few weeks. And then, why have we not got KDB here?
Well, who said at the start of last season that KDB is on his way out and that City should be looking to move on?
He starts this season.
I think Roz said that.
Yeah, no, he
and
starts
so
this season.
I think this is
He'd
the
walk
season.
into your team, man.
Yeah, I'm not saying he wouldn't.
So just saying.
I'm saying that this is going to be the season that we see KDB getting phased out and Phil Foden taking his spot. And I think they're going to play 2-8 of Alvarez and Phil Foden. Phil Foden to do more of the creative, kind of deeper work. And then Phil Foden as and Alvarez more as a shadow striker to Alvarez, to Haaland, and kind of contribute goals and assists. I think that's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. For some reason, we've got Mahrez still in our predicted 11. I think
they've been linked to Michael Olise from Crystal Palace.
Yeah, Michael Olise we didn't talk about.
Like for like replacement for Mahrez.
I mean, Mbappe's on his way out of PSG.
I know we were talking about how if they win the treble, they shouldn't be able to make signings. Another rule is if you have the second best player in the world, you're not allowed to sign the first best player in the world.
What? Just
because that's equally.
Then what's the point? What's the point of turning up? You might as well take a 3-0 forfeit.
Mate, yeah, you can't have the best and second best player in the world. That's actually not fair.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, for me, the forward line, I think we're going to see Cole Palmer get involved a little bit more. But yeah, Grealish, Haaland, and then yeah, maybe Michael Olise coming in. If not, you might see Alvarez playing on that right-hand side next to Haaland, and then you have Kevin De Bruyne sitting in behind. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I would like, for me, this season is all about seeing Phil thrive. I would love to see Phil play that more of a 10 role, get a bit more. Don't want like shoved out wide so much.
Yeah, I didn't see enough of Phil Foden last season.
No, he's still there. He's still that guy.
He needs 30 games a season.
Still that guy.
He's young and should be playing.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, I think Alvarez is going to kick on this season as well. Let us know down below. Can anyone take it away from Man City? If you're Pep, who are you signing? Because you've got the world at your feet, baby, and it's looking good. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the rest of our previews. We're uploading them basically every day.
Mate, videos non-stop. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff.
We'll be here until the very beginning of the season and then take you through all the season with content coming out your ears.
Big collabs, big giveaways. Mate, it's going to be sick.
It's going to be such a good season and we're very excited for it over here on BoreDraw. Remember to hit that subscribe button. We do appreciate it. Hit that like button and let us know down below your thoughts on Manchester City in the upcoming season. Thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been BoreDraw and it's live.
Fuck Man City.